Shut up and sit down.
Welcome to the Big Blue Offensive Podcast with Mike Trainer, Jay Jules, and John Depot. Hey, what's up, Giants fam? We back from vacation. Welcome to the BBO Nyg Podcast. I am Mike. That is Jules with his fresh eyebrows. It looks like he got his eyebrows done. John's back from his 10th honeymoon. Special guest Ben is in the building again because he's got to come on and hate on Daniel Jones, of course. But guys,
none of that.
Can you believe this? We haven't done one of these in 3 months.
It's been 3 months.
It's been 3 months.
Wow.
So the last time we did it was the draft. Was the fucking draft?
Oh.
Yeah, so we had a lot going on, man. So yeah,
that's not a vacation. That's a hiatus.
Yeah. It's like everybody's like on Twitter. It's like, you guys quit? Like, no, we're just fucking partying. It's summertime,
Yeah.
We're getting ready for the 100th anniversary, bro. We're doing it up.
The Giants organization is working, but we're just chilling.
Yeah.
So, guys, I guess we'll go right into it. Hard Knocks. We all watched it. We all finished the last episode a couple minutes ago. Where do you guys want to begin? I guess we'll start at the beginning with the Barkley situation.
Don't make me sick.
Listen, after watching it and after seeing Barkley talk in an interview after the fact, I kind of feel bad for Barkley now. I got to be honest. And I'll tell you why. The only reason why I say it is because, you know what? They kind of did do him dirty. Like, go out, see what your value is, and then come back to us. Imagine somebody doing that to one of us. Like, we like you at this job, but we could probably replace you. But go out and see how much money you can make, flipping burgers out there, and come back to us. It's a little bit disrespectful, I think. But what are you guys' opinion? John, I'll start with you with this Barkley situation because you're probably on my side with that.
I am, but it's such a complex situation because your fan loyalty, especially me and you have been rooting for this guy as a Giant, as the right pick, all this since 2018. So you're talking about 6 years of going about with this guy. I mean, I don't really fuck with Twitter too much anymore, but I mean, it was every other day fighting with people, arguing with, and sticking up for this guy, and sticking up for the GM and the team and all that. And for him to go to the Eagles, it's just it's like your girlfriend cheating on you with your fucking best friend or your worst enemy, whatever it is. And then I watched the first episode of Hard Knocks the first night it came out. And then I said, fuck this. This is making me sick. I'm not going to watch it until I have to. So I watched all the episodes today. And I just finished up right before I got on the computer with you guys.
Wow. And
watching the interaction between Saquon and Joe Shane, I don't remember exactly which episode it was, but it was right before he signed with the Eagles, and they showed a conversation between Joe Shane and Saquon, and you could just hear in Saquon's voice he was checked out.
Yes.
And I think he got the reading from the Giants that they weren't aggressive enough with him to keep him in blue. And I don't know if he signed with the Eagles just to spite the Giants. I don't know exactly if $1 million here or there for somebody of his fame really matters. But I can't shake the feeling that he signed with the Eagles just to spite the franchise for what they didn't do, and then the fan base for the just rooting against them basically for 6 consecutive years every single day.
He might have. Jules, you want to elaborate on what John said about that situation with him?
Well, yeah, I mean, of course I do. I think he's a big fucking crybaby, to be honest with you. All right.
Wow.
This shit started from last year. This didn't happen this fucking off season. This was going on before last year when he acted like a little bitch because they put a franchise tag on him. And if he really truly wanted to be a New York Giant, he was getting basically the same offer that he had gotten a year prior with a little bit more guaranteed. So what the fuck is your problem? You know what I'm trying to say? It's not like he went out and he made Christian McCaffrey money. You know what I'm saying? Or like what Xavier McKinney did, where he's one of the highest paid safeties in the league. When those type of things happen, that's a true cap casualty. And that's not the case here. Like John mentioned, you could hear it in his fucking voice. And that was fucking episode 1, which means that shit was March. This dude's
Yeah.
already fucking being a little sad bitch about things. It's like, dude, we need what, because we didn't sign you right away or something. Like, dude, that type of attitude and that entitlement is just bullshit that we don't fucking need anymore. Get him the fuck out of here. He wants to go jump ship and go to Philly. Yo, Houston was fucking in the playoffs and looked great. He could have went there and got Joe Mixon money. He turned that shit down to get maybe an extra $1 million guaranteed, possibly, to be with Philly. And then on top of it, you're sending out shit on social media with your daughter, being like, "Daddy, we can win now, yay!" Like, bro, that's just.
He did that.
Yeah,
of course.
he did.
You guys didn't see that?
Yeah,
Bro,
Jules.
that shit in the back like it was all cute and it was a joke. Nah, that shit ain't no joke. You did that shit on purpose, bro.
Jules.
Like, yo, if you were that like butthurt, you could have been a fucking man and not got on some Barbara Walters type fucking interview bullshit and be like, me, boo, me. The whole fucking running back position has been getting stuck for fucking years. Yeah, you want to be the guy that fucking sets the tone? Then go out and play like Christian McCaffrey because you ain't him, bro. He's Leonard Fournette 2.0, bro. That's what he is. He could be playoff Lenny this year for the Eagles, but that's about all his career is going to be.
Jules, your new eyebrows is making you very mean tonight. Ben, what do you have to say about that?
All right, I think there's a few things. Like, I think it is a complicated situation, especially when you have an owner that wants to keep Saquon. And it was interesting that they showed that at Hard Knocks. Yeah. But I don't know. Like Jules said, I think it all started from last offseason. I think Shane played, he gave him fair offer. I think Saquon and his agent, Ed Berry, they misguided the market. They misvalued themselves because he wanted McCaffrey money, which he is not McCaffrey. He's injured all the time. McCaffrey's got, 1,500-yard seasons, and he's got multiple ones at that.
Right.
So he came in with the tag, which, Saquon didn't want to hold out. He was threatening to hold out last year, but he couldn't. He couldn't lose the fan base like that. So he came in, he shut up, he went to training camp, didn't say a word. The day Saquon came into training camp last year is the same exact day that Andrew Thomas got paid his 5-year deal. You know what I mean? Same day. So it showed that Shane was, Saquon was not priority, especially at the price Saquon thought he was. It's a year later, a year that was less than desirable for both Saquon and the organization. Saquon checked out. He wasn't, he was like, they don't value me. Shane obviously didn't value him, and Shane had all the leverage. All the leverage. He was like, he said it on the phone call to Saquon. He said, "You want to be a Ring of Honor in the Giants? You stay with us." He said, "You want to be in the Ring of Honor? You want to be," because the fan base here and how you perceive to the fan base is very important to you. But I understand you want to get paid. So go out, see what the market will give you, because I think the market's going to be very low. That's where Shane was wrong. Shane was wrong in that Philly, because Philly is what they are when it comes to the Giants. I wouldn't put it past that piece of crap GM over there in Philly that he drove the price up just so the Giants could outbid him, Like he was bluffing for all I know. But then Saquon was like, "Nah, the Giants are out, so I guess you guys got me now." I wouldn't be surprised. You know what I mean?
That could be, yeah.
Definitely, like that dude. I don't know if you guys remember when we hired McAdoo. It's because Philly was gonna bring him in on an interview, and then the Giants accelerated the interview process, and we were like, "No, we need McAdoo here."
Yeah, I forgot about that.
So I'm like, maybe Saquon. Philly really didn't want him, and then they were like, "You know what? We'll just drive the price up on the Giants to screw the Giants because they have to pay him." And then the Giants were like, "No, we're not paying him," and now Philly's stuck with Saquon.
That's a good point.
About Saquon.
I like that point a lot, actually.
That's a great point, Ben. John was right though, but that conversation was so awkward, so weird. It's like it reminds me of like some conversation I had with ex-girlfriends. Like, "Hey, you want to come back?" Like,
you know what it is? You know what it is though?
Yeah, fun. You want to be in my Ring of Honor? Like, come on.
You know what that was, though? It's business. You know what I mean?
It is business.
And that's, Shane had to do something. Saquon wanted to do something. It just didn't work out. We've exhausted the relationship. The Saquon New York Giants relationship is exhausted. It's on all fronts. Good for him. Now he went to Philly. So for all the Saquon fans out there, that's it. He's the enemy now.
He's done.
He is the enemy.
You're right.
And that
You're right.
Forget him.
All right.
No ring of honor for Saquon.
I want to start with this, Jules. We're gonna talk about Joe Shane, how he looks on this, since we're getting into like Joe with his contract negotiations with Barkley. What do you think about Joe Shane? Does he come off goofy, kind of hipster doofus that I think he is, or am I wrong?
You want me to start with this one? All right.
Yeah, again.
Yeah, I mean, no, actually, I don't think he comes off as like this hipster doofus or whatever. I think he actually is sort of like the perfect fit for this time, the way things are nowadays, right? Where you got to be a little quirky, but you got to be sort of, like pretty much just kind of vanilla across the board because you don't want to offend nobody, you don't want to insult anything. And he just comes across as just like a regular dude. You know what I'm saying? He's very laid back. He's very calm and collective. He takes his time before he says anything. He's not that, in your face hustle bustle that we're used to in New York. And maybe that's good. He also doesn't come across like he's a chump either. You know what I'm trying to say? Like he looks like that type of dude that kind of like just sits back and likes to be that guy I was just describing. But if you fuck with him, there's like a little wicked evil side to him, I think, somewhere. And like he doesn't come at it where it's aggressive or anything, but like kind of what you saw with Saquon, where he's like, he made a comment, I think it was in week 1 of Hard Knocks, where he said, look, we're not paying this guy $40 million to hand off to a $14 million running back. Yeah. Plain and fucking simple. You know what I'm saying? And they want to be with the quarterback, and he loves playing cloak and dagger, smoke and mirrors. Because think about it, at one point we were getting nervous before the draft because JJ McCarthy's name was coming up like fucking crazy. And when the Giants were sitting there with the 6th pick, McCarthy was there, and they didn't even fucking mention him. Right? Like he wasn't even like, yes, they kept showing him on Hard Knocks. Yeah. But outside of that, you didn't hear one fucking time. They were joking. They're like, yo, if Malik's there, we go for it. I mean, you had the wide receivers coach come in and literally say that he thinks Malik is better than Marvin Harrison. I mean, what the fuck, dude?
That's crazy.
They got their fucking guy. Everybody talks about, just to sort of kind of end what we were talking about, but everybody talks about how Saquon was the playmaker and Saquon was the best guy on offense. And it's like, fuck Saquon. We got fucking Malik Neighbors. The guy could be better. And then when you start putting him out there where he can open up the field in the passing game, it's going to make Jalen Hyatt and Wendell Robinson look that much better. And then all of a sudden, Singletary doesn't have to be Barkley. He can just play his fucking game, and it's going to be effective enough to have a good running attack. So, yeah, in short, I think Shane's doing a good job. Yes, he's putting a lot on his shoulders, but, man, he keeps to handle the pressure pretty damn fucking smoothly.
It just seems like he gets, like, nervous when he, like, every time Mara walks in the room, he just starts laughing at him. It's pretty funny. John, what do you think about Joe Shane?
I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. There's been a few things that have happened that are, you're going to question any GM. That's just kind of the nature of sports. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. I feel like Jules he's like just a regular dude, but might have a little bit of a bite, not much of a bark, but a bite should he need to.
That's a good way to put it.
Hopefully he's has a vision for this team that actually comes to fruition. That's really the only thing that matters. If it works out, he's going to be a hero. He's going to be, regarded in New York for fucking ever. If it doesn't, he'll just be another one of the rotating GMs that have played this franchise for fucking the better part of 100 years, with the exception of, maybe 2 decades. That's it.
Well, like, Vin, what do you think about Joe Shane? Like with Barkley, that's his legacy. Letting Barkley go or not is really going to determine a lot. What do you think about Joe Shane and his business?
I think I was against Hard Knocks when it was announced that the Giants were on it, but to see that was the off season, I gotta tell you, like, I remember the way free agency and the draft, like I'm on it. I'm a Giants fan, so I'm on social media. I'm seeing every move. I saw that they were in on Runyon, and then the Jets came in, and then we signed them. Like, I knew all that, but to see it on the show and see how, like, Shane talks to other GMs and makes that Burns deal, like, that was kind of cool, actually. Yeah. So I'm glad that the Giants did the Hard Knocks. I just don't like everybody else is in our business, all the casuals. You put on ESPN tomorrow morning, they're like, Shane is a sucker. Shane is this, Shane is that. I got to tell you, I think Shane looks great. I think Shane, like a lot of what Jules said, Shane is not to sound whatever, but he's a good-looking dude. He's fit. He's
Yay.
smart. I know. He's not Gettleman who's out there, looking like dude just got out of a
thought he was-
bender and
I
just
thought
screaming.
I thought he's more handsome. I gotta be honest.
But I think Shane, he's very intelligent. He knows
intelligent,
what to
young.
say.
Yeah.
He knows what to say. He knows how to say it. He leans on his scouting department. Leans on, he talks to Dable. The relationship between Dable and Shane, those two are attached at the hip. They even threw the wives in today.
I like Dable's wife. I gotta admit, I was a fan.
So I'm like, you know what? Like, I like that Shane's got this. I thought he was pretty good with Mara too. Mara would come in and kind of like throw his little like advice or whatever it was. And he was like, I'm nervous with the Eli Manning, draft and all that. And Shane kind of just like, it's your boss. At the end of the day,
it's his boss.
You know what I mean? He's gonna get canned. It's not one way this is gonna end up with Shane. He's gonna get canned. That's how they all go.
But Vin, didn't Shane look like he was like, look at this fucking guy again? He comes in my office, he just starts laughing, like he has no idea what's going on.
I thought it was weird.
It looks like Weekend at Bernie's walking in all the time.
Dude, do you guys remember the first episode? Mara knocks on the door. You're the fucking owner. Like, what are you knocking for? Just walk in.
My man's like, yo, can I come in? I mean, I own the place, but
but you don't want to
sign your check, but I gotta respect the privacy here.
My name is on the building, but listen, we were talking about Jules, you were talking about the draft process. You alluded to it. What do you think about the whole draft? Looking at Malik Neighbors being the guy, it looks like he was the guy that they wanted from pretty much the very beginning. And I'll argue this: if there wasn't no quarterbacks in this draft, if everybody didn't have quarterback fever, I'd argue he's the number one player on the board of the whole draft. Is that like a reach, or could I be right?
Honestly,
and I like Marvin Harrison Jr.
Right. I mean, are we taking out all quarterbacks here? Right. So
take out the quarterbacks because every time
Williams would have won number one regardless of any draft. Right. That's just the way he got hyped up. Right. And then it would become it's Harrison, Joe Holt, or fucking Neighbors. 100%. Like either way, that would have been your top four without a fucking doubt.
Who do you think has a better career?
See, that's the thing. So here's my true take on everything, especially watching Hard Knocks and seeing these guys being in like the room and answering questions and all this kind of shit like they did. Here's what it is. Harrison is he's a polished kid who's going to be clean because he learned from his dad, and he's literally going to just be your prototypical great route running, good speed, good frame, good hands. Like he's that guy. You know what I'm saying? So like he's supposed to have the career, but he's going to just be that sort of, bread and butter, kind of vanilla, if you would, type of receiver. He's not going to be this, over the top playmaker. He's not making Randy Moss catches. He's not shaking and baking and doing Tyreek Hill shit. Whereas Neighbors is like electric. This guy is like just bang, like shit happens. I mean, you look at just see some of the catches he's already making in training camp, dude. The over the shoulder, dipping in his 2 fucking feet on the side.
We'll get there after the commercial.
Man, I just say it, but like, man. So like, I mean, I'm very excited. The one thing that I did have to sort of make a note of, because obviously I would. I think it might have been episode 2 or 3, but I think it was episode 2, where they were kind of going through the last, like I think 20 years of the draft. And even Dable was like, he's like, yo, look at how many of these quarterbacks missed.
We did that.
Round. Yeah, and we would do that shit all the time. It was like one of my biggest things to say. So, I'm sitting there watching that shit. And I'm like, I'm about to just fucking like sub-record it and trying to like edit it where I'm saying it, we're saying it. And fucking you have Dable basically saying the same fucking thing, dude. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
It is
like,
crazy.
To see that and make it clear that that's what the fuck we've been talking about for the last 2 seasons, if not longer, it made it more reassuring that they got a fucking hard grip on what the fuck they're doing. And you know what? They wanted Neighbors all fucking day long. I honestly think that if somehow Harrison was sitting there, I think they still would have taken Neighbors.
Maybe too, because their wide receiver coach came in there and said that. John, Neighbors, the draft process, like, what do you think about the Giants drafting him? You think that was the right move? I think it was. And John's off because we can't hear John.
John muted himself.
Sorry about that. I was doing paperwork before. I feel like their back was a little bit against the wall with this, where they lost Saquon and needed to find another catalyst for their offense. So they kind of were stuck with either redoing the franchise with a quarterback or getting some type of special playmaker to kind of fill that void. It's kind of cool to see like the behind the scenes of all that shit with Hard Knocks, but I'm good for another 50 years on not seeing them on Hard Knocks again. But dude, if he's as electric he was in camp, as electric he was in college, and he can make Daniel Jones a better quarterback, the offensive line's better, what could you possibly complain about? You know, if we have a Odell 2.0 that maybe isn't so fucking annoying, yeah, you can't really.
Let's hope he don't go out with a Kardashian. You know what I'm saying? Ben, like there was like John alluded to it, like you know, we could have had like a quarterback, JJ McCarthy, or we go with Neighbors. Like I guess they really didn't like McCarthy. I think Neighbors was like probably the best pick. What do you think about it? What do you think about it?
I like the fact, and I love that Hard Knock showed Shane start conversation with New England. You know, I like the fact that they didn't show it on Hard Knocks. It showed like they were leaning towards Jaden Daniels, but everybody knew Washington was getting Jaden Daniels.
Not really.
Hey, I wish they would have shown more.
It was going back. Ben, it was going, but yeah, it was going back before May and Daniels. So there was a shot that Daniels could have been there at 3. That's a guy I liked. I'm not gonna lie.
I like Drake May, and I think Drake May is a horrible situation there. But whatever. So I like that he did try to go after. Now, I am of the fan of either go for a championship or tank. No more in between. So if we would have freaking tanked, we would have been in the top 3. No DeVito, none of that. So that's just me. But,
that's crazy. That's crazy talk. Get out of here.
Yeah, that's just me. So we pick at 6. We're stuck because New England doesn't want to make the deal. And I figured New England needed a quarterback. There was no way they were making that deal. So I guess Malik Neighbors, I'll tell you something. Shane drafted on need. You know, he definitely drafted with need. And Malik Neighbors' talent is unquestionable. Like there's no way, like nobody could question his talent. My question that I have would be his off the field. You know, I know there was somewhat of a gun charge. The optics don't look so great. Like when they were in those rooms and the sunglasses, the big chain. For me, the Rome kid looked like a better character guy. I'm glad they didn't take, the Colts deal because he waited for somebody to call, and the Colts were trying to give a couple second rounders. It was too far. Shane shut that down. The Jets called. I don't even think he heard what the Jets were offering.
No, they didn't even announce it. I was actually curious because I'm wondering if the Jets were trading up for Neighbors.
It was.
You know what I mean? Because they would. I don't think they signed Mike Williams yet. They might have, but even still, you put Garrett Wilson with fucking Malik Neighbors for Aaron Rodgers. Holy shit!
Yeah.
So I think.
Holy shit is right.
But
the one thing I will say, in the backfield. What?
The one thing I'll say though is, I know you guys are gonna kill me for this. All I care about is offensive linemen. This line sucks. This offense does nothing until this line gets fixed. I'm going nuts over how they didn't care for Alt. They didn't care for Alt. They're like, please.
I'm shocked too. I'm shocked.
I'm like, yo, they
because
were
what are you gonna do? You're gonna make Alt
San Diego to take Alt.
You're gonna make a true left tackle move to the right side.
Yeah,
you're already fucking asking for trouble.
I don't care.
Nah, man. I agree.
Why not?
So would you move Andrew Thomas to right tackle since he played the position?
No.
And then you throw Joel off the left. Is that just? Am I just crazy? Everybody's just like, no. You don't want to hear me out.
You gonna move a fucking top 5 fucking left tackle to the fucking right just because we drafted a rookie? No.
These guys are crazy. We'll get to the O-line talk after the commercial break, but let's just go through the rest of the draft process real quick. It looked like they wanted one of those corners, like right off the bat in the second round, but we ended up.
You can rewind the tape, hold the receipt. My mom was joking about fucking Kool-Aid during the draft, and that was their fucking top corner. Just saying. What do I fucking know, though, right?
I wanted Kool-Aid just for the name. I like it. He's
very cool.
Well, that's true.
Well, listen, we got the number 1 safety off the board, and then we got Andrew Phillips, cornerback, and he's just like making play after play, and we'll talk about him in the camp, but looks like a great draft pick that'll take over Darnay Holmes. And then Theo Johnson, tight end, speed. So, and we got a couple other guys later, linebacker, but I don't know. Like, we'll see how the draft plays out in a couple years from now. I guess that's how we determine it, because the last draft 3 years ago, I think we have one guy remaining because we cut Aaron Robinson today. But what do you think about the other draft picks? You think these guys are going to be like starters, or take it away, guys? Who wants to go first?
Well, I think they were saying during this last episode that they got a starting corner, a starting safety. I think they actually said that out loud. So hopefully they're right.
That's
hey,
right.
listen, I keep hyping up Newman. I like the kid a lot. I said that he took over for is it Randolph or whoever the fuck is in Tampa, their safety, who was literally taken in the same draft as
Winfield.
Winfield, thank you, Winfield. Where literally he was taken in the same draft as McKinney, and that was your 1 and 2 safety off the board, right? And it's been compared over the last couple of years as to which one was been better. I know Winfield got a little bit more Pro Bowl, but he was on a better team. So, it's just been back and forth between the two of them. Everybody forgets that this kid Newman became a 4-year starter after he left Minnesota. So he's literally been the guy in that position ever since Winfield left. He is the best safety. And that's fucking talking about some good ones. There was a lot of good ones in the SEC this offseason, this last past season. You know what I mean? On Alabama and other fucking teams.
We get lucky with draft picks, right? With safeties, we do pretty well. Like with safeties.
Yeah. I mean,
Love
regime, but 100%.
Collins,
Kenny
Phillips. Like, we had some guys we drafted.
And when you see, especially what the Giants were faced with, a run on corners like that, you know what? An inexperienced GM or a GM lacking any kind of confidence would have still said, fuck, we'll get the Drew Phillips kid because he's the last one that we think is there. God forbid someone else takes him. Instead, they said, no, fuck that. We don't have McKinney. McKinney's gone. We need to replace that. And we got a shot at taking the best safety off the board. Fuck it. Let's go.
Yeah.
And they went ahead and did it, bro. You can't complain about that. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, I'm not saying he's going to come out the gate and, week 1, 2, and 3, he's going to be fucking tearing up the league. But you're going to see as the season rolls on, we're in October, November, this kid's going to, unfortunately, I love McKinney and I hate to say this, but it's going to be like McKinney who? I think it's going to be like that.
Okay.
I don't know. It takes some players usually a couple of years to kind of, get going to what you think their potential is going to be. We get lost in the offseason fantasizing about what a player could be, but you're picturing them at what their potential height is. By the time they get there, it's generally not week 1 of season 1. It's usually week 12 of season 2 where they really start to get traction in the league and, play up to their, highest potential. I don't know.
We'll see. It's always like the roll of the dice. Vin, what do you think about the rest of the draft?
I've said this to you guys before. How they completely abandoned the offensive line is crazy to me. How
they signed 3 fucking guys and drafted 2.
I don't care. Don't talk to me about our offensive line is finished with free agency because it's not. We signed a guy today, so stop.
Right,
because the line is not done. The line is the biggest problem on this team. We have 3 GMs who all get hard-ons and want to draft DBs. All we do is draft defensive backs. We let one go today. Another, what was he, a 3rd rounder? Like, we're constantly drafting these horrific defensive backs. You mentioned some good ones at safety. I don't think safety is a premier position anymore. Though Isaiah, I think we got some depth there. I know people don't want to say it. I think Pinnock is pretty good. I like Dave Bellin. I think he's a ball.
Yeah, I like him too.
I like Bellin a lot.
He's a
he can be on the
playmaker.
field with Newman at the same time.
Yeah.
I love Pinnock. Yo, have you guys seen McLeod? Like,
he's stepping up.
I'm a big fan of. Now, I think corner 2 is really the biggest hole there. I would rather have gone for a corner, but there was the run on the corners. You had your guy, Jules DeJean, that they traded up for, and Philly ended up getting him after grabbing a DB in the 1st round. We talked about this. How about or the Lassiter kid went, the Kool-Aid kid went. They all went then at that point. And I like that Shane did have a plan. He was like, I'm going to be patient. I'm gonna pivot. I'm still gonna work on the secondary, but I'm over the defense. Like defense to me, the game, the right. You need to put up points. And now offense, we don't win games because we don't score. We don't score. So we need to
playmakers
score.
Okay, but Ben, you were talking about the offensive line. We're going to get into it after the commercial break. I think Jules really wants to hammer you because we signed about 15 guys on the offense.
Yeah, dude. I feel like enough with this fucking offensive line.
Right.
Bullshit.
It's
if you ain't got to write it
do
fucking
it
point,
done, bro.
then just blow up the whole fucking team, all right? Because they're not going to fix it.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back on the BBO NYG
Wrong,
podcast.
Jules. You're wrong.
Yes, not us all.
Are we taking 30?
Hey, welcome back to the BBO NYG podcast. We're talking about the offensive line. Jules, go after Vin, man. Special guest Vin.
Bro, we've been talking about the offensive line for like 10 years now, okay?
We need to.
Right, like when it comes to talking about the offensive line, I feel like my head has been fucking stuck in a vice and it's fucking casino and that shit's being squeezed on and squeezed on and squeezed on.
Me too.
Look, they literally spent 3 top draft picks, or I guess third round, whatever you can argue the last one, on offensive linemen over the last 2 seasons. 3, okay? And on top of that, they went out and signed 3 offensive linemen this fucking year. How many fucking more pieces are going to have to be put on this team before they get it right? They fired their offensive line coach and brought in a new one. They brought in one of the guys that he likes from his fucking team. He's a big Runyon fan too. He said so in Hard Knocks. But like, my point is like, dude, you can't fucking sit here and tell me that each year, Dallas, Philly, the Colts, they all just sit there and go, oh, we're going to take an offensive lineman in the first round and we're going to get that shit right. And then we're going to do it again next year and then the year after and then the year after that. And then in year 5, we'll have a full fucking line and we're going to be a top 5 offensive lineman. It don't work like that. Okay? Like, honestly, if you could sit here and tell me any other fucking pick that the Colts did besides Quentin Johnson, whatever the fuck his name was, because I don't even give a shit anymore, when we took Saquon, tell me another offensive lineman they drafted. Yet they're a top fucking 10-5 offensive lineman every fucking season, okay? When was the last time the Kansas City Chiefs drafted an offensive lineman? Can you even fucking tell me?
They drafted them.
When was the last time?
Who 2 years ago, a couple years ago, that 6th round pick.
Oh, a couple years ago, 6th round fucking pick. Yet they're a top 10 offensive line. Like, what the fuck, dude? So, like, it has nothing to do with fucking putting on all these draft picks and this and that. It's getting the right guys that can gel together under the right coach. Period. Fucking stop. And here we go again for the 4th fucking time in like 6 years. So if they don't got it fucking right again, I don't know what the fuck to do.
That's it. You finish with I don't know what to do.
Because it's like it's a conspiracy against us.
Ben,
like,
you gotta rebuff that.
Dude. It's impossible, bro. You still got one of the best left tackles in the game. The kid Michael Smith is going to take the next step. He has to. He was one of the top centers coming out of the draft, right? That's it. Yeah. He wants to get his fucking piece. He's coming out the 2 feet. I'm about to get
fucking Dr. Evil with the cat in there. If you're able to watch it,
he jumped up on the couch. He's like, "Fuck this offensive line shit, bro. You need some playmakers."
Jules is Dr. Evil, man. He's got the cat. He's got the eyebrows. Ben, you got to rebuff that offensive line, man. What do you think about
the hat backwards? Oh, who the fuck is this guy at the
You think, yo, all that you just said, you just want to throw your hands up and give up on the offensive line?
I'm done with it.
You never gave me an answer.
If not, then that's it. Next year, 1 through 6, offensive fucking linemen. That's it.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Wow. That was a quick
You're
plan
right
there.
It's about chemistry. It's about gelling. It's about coaching. However, and getting the right guys. For them to completely have 6 picks for the draft and not even take that last pick, that 6th rounder, for you not even address the offensive line, get some depth, the developmental piece, because that's what a 6th rounder is, or maybe trade out of the 6th round and grab yourself a couple of 7 rounders for next year, because that might be your quarterback year. I found it a little disappointing. You know what I mean? And look, we're thin. Evan Neal is on the PUP list already from something that was medically diagnosed last year. So, like, yo, I don't know if you guys know this, but Evan Neal is looking at the B word square in the face.
Bust.
It's possibly going to happen. This is a big year for him, and he's not even at training camp. So,
he's not going to get his job back, man. I don't think.
So for us to go out, Jules, for us to go out and sign somebody like 7 hours ago, shows that this line is not ready. This line is still very thin. And we're talking about starting.
Oh, hold on. They
starters.
brought in Van Rotten literally a week and a half ago. They brought him in because the fact that Neil went on the PUP list. He just signed today because he had to pass the physicals and all that kind of shit.
So
that's
we can
it. I
have
mean,
a
you
big
have to.
difference
That's
to
just
you.
being smart.
Points
You
still
didn't
stand.
expect Neil to go on the PUP list. We thought he was going to be in camp. And now he's not. And then you had, what's his name? Okamoka 4 or whatever the fuck he say his last name is.
Illuminor.
Huh?
Illuminor.
Illuminor.
So
That's it.
thin. The line is thin.
Bro, and he's
We have
on
no
the
depth on this line.
That's
Okay.
that's all that was, is a depth piece.
Ben, let me go against you right there. You're saying no depth. What about the guys they drafted like last year, whatever? Marcus McKethon, Easy Azudu. Like these guys, it sounds like Azudu like is actually having a decent camp on.
And
as
Azudu was
offensive
fucking
tackle.
drafted in the 3rd round, Mike. That's a
Right.
top pick.
He was a
Yeah,
top pick.
well,
So
Zulu,
it always takes a couple years for these guys to like get acclimated. Remember, they were hurt. Both of them got hurt. So you really can't judge last year because 9 of them got hurt. So like how many guys you want to like bring in? I love how they went in and they're signing these veteran guys. They need them for camp. And you know what? If lightning strikes and we happen to get a guy, especially like a guy like, Rotten, that I think there was a clip online, Rotten and Illuminor, like double teamed Dexter Lawrence last year against the Raiders, and they fucking threw that motherfucker on the ground. Like, listen, if they have that kind of chemistry already, and if we get lucky, that'll be fantastic. But it also, a guy like Illuminor, he seems like he's got a good head on his shoulder. He's trying to get this squad together. Let him bring up these rookies, elevate them. So maybe we'll have something. But yes, I am worried, especially after this practice where the line just looked like crap. But we had Stinney in there, left guard. We had a center Stroman that was just playing for JMS. So it's really hard to judge right now. I'm waiting. I'll panic week 1 preseason game watching the actual starters on the offensive line.
There's a couple of points I want to make to what you said. First point is, I agree. You get free agents in here, get veterans in here. I'm okay with that. But I want to do both. I want to do as many as we can. Bolster this line up as best as you can. Another point I want to make is I just think the line, coaching is an issue, obviously. There's guys like Flowers and Will Hernandez went on and had pretty good contracts and years after they left us. So coaching is an issue. I like why are we tinkering with these dudes' positions? You kind of alluded to it before, trainer. Get a dude in there. Say, Illuminor, you're going to be the right tackle. That's what you're going to be practicing for camp. That's what you're going to be all season. And go with that. They tinker and move they're putting Runyon at center in case if Schmitz goes down. It's like, why? I get you want them to be versatile because that's the argument there. But I don't want that because that hasn't worked. We've been doing that for years. Izudu, he played left tackle at a certain point a couple years ago. He was atrocious. He's a 3rd rounder. McKeithion is a Carolina boy. He's another one that just, I don't think he's ever going to amount to anything. He's just another body. Stinney's horrible. I feel like we're really, really bad at the line. We're last in pass protection, bottom 5, pretty much the last 5.
Only go up from here.
And we could stay where we've been. So, Daniel Jones needs time. They made that dude scared. We had a whole podcast and we haven't even brought him up yet.
We'll get there.
You know what I mean? They made that dude
saving the best for last.
Right. We'll say that.
So I think the line still needs tinkering. The Detroit lines are the perfect. Detroit lines were picking a bunch of offensive linemen year after year after year, and boom, they got the top line in the league.
Good.
And now they're a nasty team, Super Bowl contender in 1 year.
Because Gibbs was taken in round 5, and fucking St. Brown was taken in round 5.
Yeah, pretty
They didn't take playmakers in the early rounds.
They got Sewell.
They did, but they got some.
Oh, we got fucking Andrew Thomas. It's the same fucking argument, dude. People come up and they always say, "Oh, we got this left tackle. We got our left tackle, and he's fuking great." So what the fuck, dude? It's time for some other motherfuckers to step up.
He's also always hurt. I love Andrew Thomas, but he's dealt with hamstrings all year last year.
Bro, you sound like a chick that's been scoring so many times by guys. You're like,
I've been scoring. The line is the reason why this team is bad. The line is the reason. And Giant fans in the offseason, during the season, they're like, we got to fix the line. This is my last point, Mike. We got to fix the line. We got to fix the line. This line sucks. We have no time. This blows. But as soon as the offseason hits, you all get window shopping happy. Oh, I want this weapon. I want that. Just wait till Neighbors sticks up an old lady, and then you'll be crying. And you're like, oh, what the hell now? Look what we did. Another
Can't wait till he fucking puts the rookie record on fire, bro.
All right, Jules, Ben, that's good. But we got it. John, I want to hear your take on the offensive line, man. Like, I kind of agree with Ben. Like, the way the Lions did it, they made with their offensive line, they made Jared Goff look like a superstar. He got paid because of that, and he's not that great of a quarterback. But John, what do you think about the offensive line?
Bro, we've collectively watched 100 seasons of football between the four of us as Giants fans. And with the exception of maybe 5-6 years out of the last 20 somewhat years, the Giants offensive line has been their kryptonite and has ruined season after season after season after season. It's inescapable. It is not something that you could just say, hey, maybe a couple of C+ guys will get us to the promised land. That's just not what it is. You need a good offensive line. It is flabbergasting how no matter what the Giants do, no matter what coaches are here, what players are here, most often they just are a bottom of the league team. It's infuriating. It's ruined careers. It ruined the end of Eli's career. It's ruining Daniel Jones's career. It's ruined Saquon's career with the Giants. It's been horrific. And I just don't know how you can sit here as a Giants fan after watching week after week, year after year, and not want to just say enough is enough. We need to dedicate anything that we possibly fucking can to getting this line right once and for all, at least have a window of 3-4 years where we could be a top 14, top 12, top 10, my God, God forbid, team with the offensive line where Daniel Jones doesn't need to be fucking spectacular and the wide receivers don't need to be spectacular. We don't need a Saquon Barkley. We could just be a functional offense because our offensive line can drive us down the field and just smash mouth football and just play, let fucking plays develop. It's reassuring that we have a left tackle because that is the most important piece on the line. So at least we're not standing at home plate. We're standing on first base, but we still got to get past second and third and be able to slide into home to score a run. And it's just infuriating that it's just year after year.
John, you seen like what happened when Andrew Thomas went down with an injury. We had no depth. We had nobody that could come in and take over for him. I feel bad because a lot of these offensive linemen that Daniel Jones, we're going to get into Daniel Jones now, that he has played with are no longer in the NFL. Where did Shane Lemieux go? What happened to him? Like, is he even in the NFL like anymore? Like, you know what I mean? What happened to these guys? Like,
Is he
one
not
guy
in Washington anymore?
that was Nick Gates.
Yeah,
that was Gates.
That was Gates. Shane Lemieux's gone. We had, unfortunately, rest in peace, Cunningham, passed away, which was fucking crazy. He was our starter at one of our tackles for a couple years, like in and out. So, I mean,
where's Pert? Where's Big Ass?
Shane Lemieux with the Saints.
Yeah, Matt.
He's third round.
Yeah, Matt Pert. You're right, Jules. What happened to Matt Pert? He was supposed to be a third-round pick. He was supposed to be. He's a big guy. He should have been our right tackle. Then all of a sudden, Evan Neal. I can't believe he's a bust. Like, which is just like what a waste of a draft pick. I mean, I don't want to look at that draft. What we could have had instead of Evan Neal at that time. I don't want to look.
You could do that with every draft, though.
But it's you're right. You can do that every draft, John. But it's like, goddamn, like that should have been the consensus. Like I thought that was our bookends forever for the next 10 years.
One crazy thing about the Neal draft is
he's young. He still can turn into something. It's not over for him yet.
Right. And none of the other tackles that were in that draft have really stepped up and done anything yet. It's not like the drafts with like Andrew Thomas and a couple other guys where they literally became Pro Bowlers and they became that cornerstone for their team. All the guys there, you haven't heard shit about, to be quite honest with you. The kid out of A&M that went to Carolina, I can't even fucking remember his name. He hasn't done shit. Like that whole draft class.
Cross is good though. Cross that went to Seattle. Is good.
He's all right. They've been having issues with their own line too. That's what I'm trying to say. Like that whole draft, it happens. I mean, look, if you go back to this Daniel Jones draft, right? Real quick, because we're tailing into Daniel Jones anyway. If Jones fails, let's just say he fails this year, right? Which a lot of people think he will. So this isn't a crazy statement to say. And Kyler Murray doesn't amount to what Kyler Murray should be. That entire fucking quarterback class is shit.
So,
They ended up being nothing but backup quarterbacks. So this shit happens. It was a
That's
bad
most
tackle.
drafts.
Huh?
we've seen it. We've seen
That's
it on
most
our
drafts.
It happens, bro. It happens all the fucking time.
It's
So
a bust.
Neil
They're all bust.
was a bad tackle class. That's
Lot of
how I'm
bust.
looking at it. Now, whether or not he can amount into something down the road because he is still young, it's there. There's possibilities, but he was a part of a class that underperformed, and that just happens all the time in the draft. And it just goes to show you that even if you pick in the top 5, top 10, there's no guarantees. There's zero. It's just how it is, man. And that's why sometimes going out and getting these veterans
That's the way.
isn't the terrible move.
The Evan Neal pick, though, the Evan Neal pick shouldn't, even if he does bust, like, and that's the way it's looking to me.
The first two chapters,
basically, like, I understand why Shane made that pick. It was need, it was value. He's a blue chip athlete from high school. He played in the SEC. He played on Alabama.
He won a national title.
He was a monster. Like,
He was a
every
monster.
indication was this dude was going to be good. I don't know if the Giants screwed him up. I don't know if Superstardom screwed him up.
Probably.
The pro game, he just couldn't handle it. Maybe what is the talk about switching him inside, making him a guard? Where did that talk go? Why did that stop?
Because he's hurt.
It's all.
He's hurt.
He's hurt.
Yeah, he's hurt.
Hurt.
It was supposed to be this year. This is what we're supposed to see what he's doing. Look
Yeah.
at how they're moving the offensive line that you were just saying was a bad idea, and moving guys all around and putting Runyon at center.
I would move him. I would move him based on his technique or lack thereof of his footwork. What you should look at when you evaluate linemen is their feet. That's what, not their hands, not their power, not all that. Look at their feet, and his footwork is not good enough for the outside. That's why I think he's going to bust.
But he looked so good in college. To come out and not perform like that is really a shock. But then again, the NFL, like they say, 50% just kind of bust. They just go from one level to the next. A lot of these guys can't play at the next level. It's unfortunate. That's the way it goes. But listen, enough about that.
One more
ahead,
point
John.
about that though. There's also an element that we uniquely experience as Giants fans that really no other team in the NFL and only a couple of teams in professional sports in America deal with. You see it mostly with the Yankees, at least as most prominently with the Yankees, how they can get a very good veteran who plays somewhere else, San Diego, whatever, Cincinnati, whatever it is, comes to New York and just cannot play in New York. It's just something about being in the big city, that mental. It's like there's the NFL and then there's the NFL in New York. There's the MLB in New York. So
That's a good point.
that's why you see guys like Will Hernandez and Nick Gates are able to go at least make a career for themselves somewhere outside of it. I think there's an element that it's just an extra level that playing in New York, it just
You think it's the media?
It's the media, it's the fans, it's just
Scrutiny.
the
More scrutiny.
it's more scrutiny. We're very unforgiving. I think there's a large portion of New York fans that get off on jeering their own players. It's a weird thing.
Hell yeah. I see
a lot
it.
of teams that don't have that as much. There's usually
You don't do
more
that in Green
support.
Bay.
Yeah, there's more support for
Yeah,
their
they do that
players.
shit in Boston and Philly though, so fuck that. I don't want to use that excuse.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
But
They're
Boston
dumpster towns, though.
Boston and Philly players, though, they're not in New York. They're big market teams, but there's just something about New York that's different than everywhere else. So not only are they going from college and they could be stellar players and then go to the NFL, they're going to New York. And there's just another dynamic, another wrench in the fucking gears of the machine that, unfortunately, it's our problem that makes more players bust than most other teams. I'm not giving people excuses because you know what? You're going to make $10 million, $5 million, $2 million, or whatever it is. Fucking figure the fuck out.
Oh.
But it's annoying that it's a unique problem to us. And we got to sit here week after week and fucking complain about the offensive line and complain about this and complain about that. And we're about to talk about Daniel Jones, and I'm sure at least one or two of you guys are not going to say stuff that's going to make me happy.
Well, John thinks Evan Neal needs a hug, so I'm sure like these other two guys are going to hate on Daniel Jones. But I'll say this about Jones.
Though, Mike, one thing that I think, because for years I used to say it was the media, it was all of that going on in New York. But you know what? the media is everywhere nowadays. You know, everybody could be their own media, especially with podcasts. And, you know, you having a whole
That's not the
fucking
same.
basically studio in your pocket. The difference in New York is New York
There's a million of them.
is an outlet for everything. Everything. You know what I'm trying to say? We have the world's fucking trade center. We have the fucking biggest stock market. We have people coming in from all over the planet every fucking day. It's just an outlet. So because of that outlet,
And we're a bunch of assholes over here.
exposure everywhere. Bro, yo, listen, hold on. I guarantee you that you could go to fucking any country in Europe, any country in Asia, and they know fucking New York. And they'll probably recognize the NY on the hat.
World.
You can't say that about every other team. So that means when their cousin from fucking Zimbabwe is visiting, he might be fucking texting out that he just heard Malik Neighbors. Then we get in. I thought we had a Zimbabwe fucking follow and shout out one time. I don't know. But I'm just saying.
They listen.
You got people from all over the world always focusing in on New York. So it adds just more just outlets and pressure and excitement just because of where you fucking are at.
Right.
And that's it. And then you got these fucking media people who take that and they think they're standing on a fucking pedestal because they're working for a major New York outlet. And now they want to fucking go even harder on it because they want everybody to be Stephen A. Smith.
Because they want to make a name for themselves.
Exactly.
The more ridiculous the thing you say, the bigger your name becomes. So you as a reporter, you as an analyst, a pundit, you're creating a career for yourself on the backs of these players, and us as fans pay the price for it. They do too, the players, because they don't end up with the career and money that they may have gotten if they went to fucking Wisconsin or fucking Arizona. You know what I mean? Places that aren't like that. But
shout out.
It's not going to change. You know, none of us are going to be fans of other teams. This is just something we're going to have to deal with for the next, 60, 70 years of our lives.
Can I add a quick New York point?
Hey, Ben, can I just shout out to the people from Zimbabwe that's listening before you fucking go talk?
Shout out to my Zimbabwe.
My dudes right there, Zimbabwe in the house.
Yeah, buddies.
Shout out.
What up?
Shout out to my Bantus.
That's right.
A quick point about New York and what you guys all said was, I agree with 100%. But
tough here.
Also, everything's bigger in New York. Like, we don't have one team to rally behind. We have multiple teams. Football, it's Giants and Jets. There's hatred there. Some New York fans I like them both. Nah, there's hatred there. There's Mets and Yankees. There's Islanders and Rangers with the Devils close by.
The Devils, yeah.
You know, every sport, like we have multiple teams, and I think that kind of creates rivalry within the city itself. And New York has an elitist attitude to them, especially the fan, especially with a team that has a lot of history. Look at the Knicks. The Knicks, they were bumped in the second round, and yet we thought we had the best season ever. We're just excited for where we came from. You know what I mean? Awesome. And we talk a lot of smack. We talk the most smack. Like, we talk smack, and we suck as for the Giants. Just wait till we're good. I tell all my coworkers, I tell all my friends, like, wait till the Giants are good again because, you think I'm bad now. Just wait till we win. Because I'll be talking smack with a smile on my face.
Goddamn.
Right. Because of Daniel Jones.
And that does lead us to Daniel Jones, because I will talk. Me and John are going to talk a lot of smack if he just lights it up this year. I'll leave you guys with this. You can debate Jones. You heard me say all the good things. I rave about him, but he came back from an ACL injury in time for camp. He's fucking playing. I see these little skits online where he might underthrow a guy, overthrow a guy, light it up with neighbors, but give him a fucking break. These guys going after Jones for some of these passes. He's coming back from a major knee injury. These are timing routes. It's not necessarily overthrows or underthrows. Some guys got to be here, there. Everybody's like over judging him. Like, you don't see that with anybody else. Like, I know we talked about the media before. You don't really see that with Joe Burrow in Cincinnati. You know what I mean? When he overthrows a guy. I know he's a stud.
He went to a Super Bowl, Mike.
Yeah, he went to a Super Bowl. That crap. But come on, like,
he lost an AFC Championship game because some idiot fucking hit Pat Mahomes out of bounds. What's the matter with you? It's Joe Burrow.
That's right. Yeah, Joe Burrow. But that's my point with Daniel Jones. Like, cut him some slack. Let the line be fixed for fucking once, and let's see what he could do this year. And if he doesn't do the job this year, they're probably moving on. It sucks, but that's what it is.
It is. That's exactly right. He's got one more year where he's going to have the leash to be the presumptive starter for the season and not have direct competition. I like Daniel Jones from the second we fucking drafted him. From sitting there that weekend and looking at all these YouTube highlight reels and watching that the kid actually is accurate, he's fast, he's tough, and that's you mentioned about coming back in 8 months or whatever it is, 9 months from an ACL. That just goes to the point of he's a tough dude, and I also think he is mentally strong enough to play in the market, which is incredibly difficult for a quarterback, more so than maybe any other position in any sport that we have of the major 4 sports. I think that he's got like the hardest job of any of them.
Yeah,
starting pitcher, whatever, name
Shortstop.
goalie, whatever.
Yeah, right.
You could easily
Doesn't
make that
matter.
argument. You could easily
Quarterback of the New York Giants specifically, not the Jets. The Jets are not in the same league as the Giants as far as scrutiny is concerned. They're always the kid brother. They're always expected to just be the butt of a joke.
the underdog.
Yeah, they get the benefit of the doubt that there's no expectations for them to be great. Where the Giants, because they've had the 2007, the 2011 runs, and even before that when we were kids, they've done things. So there's more of an expectation for them. They are the big brother of the two teams. I really would like to see Daniel Jones fucking just come out and just be good. Like, be undeniably good. You don't need to be Patrick Mahomes. You don't need to be fucking Tom Brady. Just be good. And I think he really does have it in him. And I fucking hope to God that Joe Shane was the guy that we needed to get in here where you could build around him enough where you can really see the potential in this kid. Because it would really be a shame to see Saquon go to Philly, and because they have a good offensive line and because they have a good team, see him flourish over there. And then the next year, Daniel Jones gets signed somewhere else and fucking goes. And because that's a good team there, wherever he ends up going, he ends up flourishing somewhere else. That will fucking burn my ass. Seeing two of my favorite players in the last 5-6 years make something of themselves elsewhere, and it's because of whoever else was in the front office and whatever, that would fucking suck.
That burned my ass too. Ben, what do you think about Daniel Jones? It looked like during the draft process, it looked like they kind of were interested in Jaden Daniels if he slipped, but they weren't going to go make a big offer for Drake May. So it didn't seem like they were really pushing the envelope to really go after a quarterback. And don't forget, Bo Nix was right there for the taking too, besides JJ McCarthy. And Sean Payton loves his quarterback, so he went at 9 and got him, right? I think it was 9 in Denver. So, like, there was quarterbacks there to go get your guy, and they just passed on it. So they must think highly of Jones to get him through this year and maybe in the future. Who knows? I don't know.
Well, I think when it came to the draft, it was the big 3 at the top of the draft, and that was it. They didn't care about JJ, Penix, Knicks. They were never mentioned. Like, those guys were never mentioned. So I think that's it for drafting wise. But I don't know. Daniel Jones has had a roller coaster of a career. He was overdrafted, in my opinion. But then he had that year where they didn't pick up his option, new GM. Then they paid him. I agree with you, Mike. He came back sooner than I expected. He's a tough kid, like John said. But toughness is not like, we need accuracy, we need skill, we need winning. The 6 games he played last year were horrific. That Dallas game, the season was over. It was the first week. It was over. So again, all the slack I will cut him, especially in the training camp. However, week 1, let's not wait and let's see how our offense does. No. We need to win week 1 because this schedule gets daunting by week 3. I want to start this season at 2-0. So Daniel Jones, he has no slack week 1. You know why, Mike? Because he's been paid. That's why. He's been paid an exorbitant amount of money. He was going for 50. Well, now, Jules will say that this deal is nothing compared to what the quarterbacks are getting paid this last week. Like he said, however, it's still a lot of money. He's taken up 30% of our cap, as a quarterback should. But you gotta do something, Jones. I know this seems like a lame duck year for us. Giant fans, let me speak for myself. You guys chime in and tell me if you agree or not. it's kind of going to be a weird year. Am I really excited for a great new year? I don't know, because the quarterback situation is still very up in the air. Are we going with this guy beyond this year? Are we not? Like, do we have to redraft and rebrand ourselves? Like, I don't know. I don't know.
For me.
Like, I'm rooting for Jones. He's my quarterback. I'm Terrell Owens. He's my quarterback. I'm rooting for him.
Damn right.
It's certainly what's best for the franchise. The last thing we want to do is start over again with another quarterback in next year's draft. If he's good, then you have the most important position covered.
What's good, John? What's our wins? What's his stat line? What's good?
Defense got better, so who knows?
Bro, I don't like to look at stats as what is the benchmark of being good and not. Listen, there's stats that you can attain that makes you undeniable, but I don't necessarily care. Like if the defense is out there and holding teams to 17 points a game and we're scoring 21, 23 points a game, I don't care if he's got 50 touchdowns. That's not important.
Eli wasn't that way either.
Yeah, it's not important. What's important is when it counts, you show up and you make the throws. You get your players fucking ready to go in the huddle. Whatever needs to get done on the field for you to make the team successful when it counts the most, that's what you need. That's when you need to show up. If the season we won at the 2022, we won the playoff game, you had 7 come from behind wins and all that. Like, show that all season, but don't go into the season that we have. I think the defense is good enough where we're not going to have to do come from behind wins. I don't think that it's going to have to be like that. I think just be good. That's it. Just fucking be good.
He's probably not going to run as much anymore either. With these.
No, I think that chapter of his life is over.
I disagree.
I don't think that we're ever going to see that Daniel Jones.
I disagree. In the camp, they said he looked fine. He was running like he didn't miss a beat.
Yeah, nobody touches him in camp though.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Let's not talk about that, Ben. That's crazy talk. He was fucking fast. Jules, what do you think about Jones? Do you think?
So I think everybody's looking at this shit from the wrong perspective. To be fucking honest with you, it's been fucking 5-6 years already, right? We saw him kind of get a little unleashed his rookie season, and all the expectations were there. And then he goes to being the fucking most turned over quarterback the following season, right? And then it was, we got to figure out how to really play with this guy. Well, now Dable, the fucking quarterback whisperer, comes in, and he has his most efficient season as a pro, right? Efficient. So he has the ability to be efficient, be a game manager, come from behind. He's showing
game manager. Game manager and come from behind don't go in the same sentence.
Well, you only throw 15 touchdowns in a season. What the fuck are you, bro? That's a fucking pass. That's not even a pass. It's a fucking game. So chill.
I feel you.
Here's my point with this.
That's why I'm saying stats.
I'm not done because here's the point. Here's where I think that the Giants had the confidence they had going into this draft, where they were like, 1, if a quarterback that we wanted fell to us, we'll think about taking it. And 2, if we could offer a small package and trade up for one of these guys, we're going to. Because if not, we're playing with fucking house money. We paid this guy already. There's no going back on this contract with Jones. That's it. We put the chips in on the table. We got to fucking roll with it now. So guess what happens? If they're fucking smart and you bring in a new offensive piece in Neighbors and you bring in a veteran back like Singletary and you hope these younger guys and receivers take the next step up, well, now we're fucking letting the training wheels come off and you don't give a fuck because Jones is playing for his fucking career. So if this asshole's got to throw fucking 15 to 20 interceptions this season, so fucking be it, bro. Because if you could throw 30 touchdowns and throw 20 interceptions, I think every fucking one in this room is going to take that because that's what he needs to do. It's no more this bullshit, quick read, check down, this, that, look to run, RPO. Let it fucking rip, Dick. Let's fucking go. Start stretching the motherfucking field. Get sacked in the fucking backfield. Fumble the fucking ball or step the fuck up.
Can I say something, Jules?
You got nothing to lose.
Jules, can I say something? Jules, can I say something? You're absolutely right because you know what? Barkley's gone. This team is going to be a pass-first offense, so they have no choice. They have a superstar Neighbors. Let it fucking rip. That dude, I watched a lot of camp with Neighbors. That dude, you cannot guard him one-on-one. You just can't. Now, if NFL teams start double teaming him, say mid-season, like after he's just gonna light it up, you're gonna see Wan'Dale Robinson like have a big impact because he's gonna get open. You're gonna watch this. Like I'm gonna tell everybody right now. Fantasy drafts, I'm getting neighbors. I don't give a shit. That dude looks nasty. He looks nasty. So I can't wait because listen, they're gonna have to throw. They're gonna have to throw. That's it. There's no
I
choice.
actually think they'll be a balanced offense. I think they'll run. I think they'll still run.
They're still going to run. They're still going to be what the Giants do. But what I'm trying to say is like this is it. He's got to be the guy. That's it. He's got to throw 30 fucking passes in a game. That's it. That's fucking it. You want to score more than 17 points,
I agree
open
with
the
that.
fucking offense.
But I disagree with the running. I disagree with the running.
If he throws 20 plus interceptions this year, so fucking be it. Now we know he got it. And now we go after a quarterback and we fucking do one next year.
You know, Mahomes and Josh Allen always lead the league in interceptions the last like 3
Of course they do. Of course they do.
Because they pass. That's why, Vin. Thank you, Vin. Vin, thank you. Because Buffalo, they had the offense. It was a pass-first offense, wasn't it? With Singletary, who we got now, it's going to be the same style, man. They're going to pass, and it's going to be a lot more.
Trainer. Yo, Singletary. We're going to Saquon who? Singletary's going to fill in very nicely. You watch. And we'll get the rookie, Tyrone Tracy in there on the third downs. He'll probably win that job because I heard Eric Gray might be cut. They might cut Eric Gray because he can't block for shit. Yeah, I think the run game did now, finally, because I'm a Saquon hater. Now, let's go. Now I think our run game will be fine.
That's crazy.
Let's have a commitment.
That's crazy. All right.
I know. I'm out of my mind.
Yeah, you heard it here, guys. You heard it here. All right. Listen, before we go, is there anything else? Like anybody got like any surprises that happened over the last 3 months? I got nothing. Nothing happened.
Well, I was in the same list to save for next week, but I might as well just do it now. Just get it out of the way. So
what do you got, John?
I do in-home sales, and I was at this guy's house who worked in the World Trade Center, like, very well off guy. And I'm in his office downstairs in his house, and he's got all this like Giants and Yankees and just, boxing and all these different like signed just sports memorabilia. It was like a wild collection. So like I'm in there.
What's his address?
I don't remember. I can look it up. But I'm trying to sell. I'm there to sell something. So I wasn't really like focusing in exactly. But I ended up being there for a couple hours shooting shit with the guy, and I'm looking and there's a pair of Giants pants on the wall. There's like all these like Giants things, and I'm like, oh, you're a Giants fan. And he's like, oh yeah. He's like, you're a Giants fan. I was like, dude, I do a Giants podcast with my buddies. And he's like, oh, he's like, yeah, those pants on the wall right there. He's like, take a look at them. So I go up to the pants on the wall, and they are the actual pants David Tyree was wearing when he made the helmet catch in Super Bowl 42.
That's crazy.
The actual pants, like authenticated actual pants. When he bought it at an auction for like 40 grand. The next day
for a pair of pants.
Memorabilia guy for a pair of pants, bro. 40 grand. Someone offered him $100,000 and he turned it down. So yeah,
and that's why he's got all the memorabilia. Yes, that guy knows.
I hope you made the sale, John.
Oh, I made
your sale.
I made the sale. Don't you worry about that, Ben. I made the sale. So I'm looking around, and he's, oh, what about this? What about that? And I look, and he's got these gloves. He's got like 2 framed like shadow box gloves on the like NFL receiving gloves on the wall. And I forget which one of them was. It was like an older Giants player, like a little bit before my time. And then the other one was Hakeem Nicks's gloves from when he made the Hail Mary catch in the Green Bay game. What's that?
The Green Bay game. Holy shit.
Green Bay game, yeah, right at the half. Bro.
How many cups does he have? Does he have a lot of guys' cups?
No.
Autograph cups?
The gloves. It was comical. Remember, like the thing was like,
it was huge.
Hakeem Nicks's hands.
Yeah.
You kind of take that with a grain of salt until you actually see this guy's gloves.
It's like Andre the Giants.
Sneakers, bro. They were enormous. Fully can fit 2 hands in there. Fully can fit 2 hands. It was insane. I was like, this guy is a fucking alien. So anyway, we're shooting the shit. And he's like, you really are a Giants fan, this and that. And he goes up. We're going to the attic to go look at his system, whatever. And he's like, oh, here. And he hands me something. He hands me this, which I know it's hard to tell from the camera, but you can see the 21 here. And it's a seat from the original Giants stadium. See, the signatures are on there. It's all authenticated.
Wow.
And you can see,
who signed it?
What's that?
Who signed it?
So you could read some of them. You saw Carl Banks. You see Phil Simms over here. You see Gary Reasons up here, and there's one more and one more. This one I couldn't figure out, and I was like, oh, there's nothing that says who is who. You can just read what the names are. So we put the thing downstairs. I continue on, what I'm doing, and he's like, I think that one signature might be LT. And I was like, get out of here. And he's like, you know what? He's like, let me see something. He goes online. He goes and looks up Lawrence Taylor's signature, looks at this thing, and he's like, that's fucking Lawrence Taylor's signature. So LT signed it here.
Damn.
Bill Sims, Carl Banks, Gary Reasons, and I one day I'm going to find out who this is.
Phil McConkey. Phil McConkey.
It looks like a J and a D, which are my initials, but it's DELIS. I don't know who it is.
Back then,
yeah,
be
he
like
just gifted that to me. He's like, my whole house is covered in shit. My son's house is overflowing with memorabilia. He gave me a literal fucking.
That's dope.
So if we reach 100,000 subscribers, you have an eligible for fucking winning that shit.
I'm keeping that shit.
I'd be sitting.
We have a long way to go to get to 100,000 though, so I don't think it's going anywhere.
I would take
the back of the seat or the bottom of the seat. Is that the back?
Back. Yeah, back of the seat.
Yeah, the back.
Very cool, man.
That's awesome, dude. That's sick.
Yeah.
I would take the seat out of my Jeep and put that in there and sit there.
Put it like in a glass case around it, and then you sit like with that shit behind the glass case in your car.
Yeah.
Dude,
I'm gonna get it framed though, because it's just cool. And the story behind it's pretty cool too. A customer giving it to you, like, I'm there to go take money out of this guy's pocket, and he's like, oh yeah, here's 30 grand and plus here's
you gotta invite him on the show.
Yeah, you definitely do.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'm like, bro, you got any more stuff in the attic that you don't need?
Right.
Well, he had a lot of stuff, bro. It was crazy. He had a seat from the old Yankee Stadium up there too. It was crazy. He had easily $200,000-$300,000 in memorabilia in his house. Like, easily.
Send them the link, man. Send them the link to the show. Tell them like and subscribe, smash the button, come on and give us free shit. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, free shit to raffle off every time we get 100,000 subscribers.
Oh yeah.
Really setting your high, Jules.
You're gonna get David Deal's pants. Yo, guys, that was a fun episode, man. Glad we talked about that. We'll be back. Maybe in a couple weeks. I don't think there's no reason to come on next week. This is a good episode.
Recap the preseason 1 game.
Yeah, wait till that. It'll be here like 10 days. It's crazy.
No,
8 days. 8 days. Next Thursday.
I have a countdown as per usual. Giants preseason 1, 8 days, 19 hours, 40 minutes from this moment.
So we're gonna get to see what that offensive line looks like that first preseason game. But listen, guys, great episode, Ben. Thanks again for coming on.
Man, you gotta come on after that episode of the fucking preseason game so you can eat your words about the fucking O-line, bro.
They don't mean nothing. They don't play for preseason, buddy. They don't play. Week 1.
Jules, John, we'll see you guys in a couple weeks, man. Right. With that,
like and subscribe. Make sure to check out the new. What is it? What's the new Mix It Up now?
The Mix It. We're back. We're back to the Mix It Up podcast again. So we changed name a couple times, but we're back. So check that out. And
they mix it up so much they even mix up their fucking name.
We get crazy out here. It's been a long summer. We out. Go Giants.
Let's go Giants.
Go Blue.